If you've made a Christmas stocking pattern like me, you just want to cut it out. So just follow along all them lines there. And we will be making a cuff and having a lining in this Christmas stocking as well. So just cut all the way around. One of the things about the Christmas stocking is making sure that the shape is correct, because sometimes Christmas stockings can look really quite bad. Just make sure that you pick a design that looks really good. So put your Christmas stocking pattern onto your fabric, and your fabric is going to be right sides together. So there's going to be a front side and a back side to our Christmas stocking. So, and if you want to pin, go ahead and pin, or if you want to hold it in place, you can. Like, you're probably best to pin. So here we go. We're going to cut this around our Christmas stocking pattern all the way around. Try and be as precise as you can. So this here is going to be my inside lining. I'm going to make sure that they are facing each other again, and I'm going to put everybody on top of here, and I'm going to pin everybody into place, and I'm going to cut around this whole Christmas stocking once again. So I'm going to basically have 4 pieces of fabric. There's going to be 2 lining pieces and 2 outer pieces. I will be putting a cuff on this Christmas stocking. I'll show you that a little bit later. Let's start sewing the Christmas stocking together. So let's start with the outer part first, and we'll put the lining to one side. This is the sewing machine that I use for every single sewing tutorial. It's the Baby Lock Soprano, and this is the setup that I'm going to use. So I'm going to do a 3.5 on the stitch length, and I'm going to keep everything exactly the same. And this is just a regular straight stitch. I love this machine because it tells me exactly which foot to use. So I'm going to be using a J foot, which is your regular utility sewing foot. And I am going to be using a Microtex 9014 sewing needle, and in my thread I'm going to be using a just regular cream polyester and a regular cream polyester in my bobbin. We are basically going to sew 1/4 inch all the way around our stocking, and I am going to turn on my pivot key on my Baby Lock Soprano. This is the pivot key, so I'm going to turn it on. It does a really cool thing, and I'll show you. So every time I sew and I stop, the presser foot is going to automatically raise, and then when I press my presser foot, it's going to start again, and it's going to drop it. So I'm not going behind the machine and lifting this presser foot up and down. It's all hands-free sewing, and that's one of the brilliant features of this machine. So you go, I've lifted my foot off the presser foot, and this is automatically raised up, and it allows you to move your project about, especially when it comes to this curve on this Christmas stocking. So here we go. So now we're coming to that curve, and we're able just to sew around it, just lifting that presser foot up using our foot accelerator. So isn't that great? You're not having to lift it up and down. The machine is doing that all for you. So I'm going to go all the way around. I'm going to go all the way around the stocking, and we're obviously going to leave the opening unsewn. So we're going to sew everything down apart from the opening at the top of the Christmas stocking. So that is the outside of my Christmas stocking all sewn up, and I left the opening around here still open. Now I am going to get the other section, my inside lining. So we're going to do exactly the same things what we did with the other one, but we're going to just do somewhat slightly different, and you'll see why in a second. So we are going to sew down, and we're going to leave an opening here, and we're going to sew all the way around. So you're going to have 2 openings now. You're going to have the opening at the top here, and you're going to have an opening here about, let's say, about 2.5 inches, enough to pull everything through. You don't want to do it too small. So here we go, let's start. So we're going to sew, and you should really backstitch at the top, and this is the moment that we're going to leave it a little bit open. Now you don't actually have to like break the thread, so just lift your needle up, lift your presser foot up, and move everything down, push the needle back down, put the presser foot down and start sewing back stitch. So we've basically created a little bit of a jump stitch, and I'll show you that a little bit later. We're going to sew all the way around. It just stops you having to do like an extra step because, you know, we're all busy. So you're going to sew all the way around this Christmas stocking, just like we did the other one. Here we go. We have this like little thread here where we just jumped. We're just going to cut it away like so. Then you're going to have two like openings. So you're going to have this one here, and you're obviously going to have this one at the top here. If I can find it. There you go. So you have two openings on this one, and then you just obviously have the one opening on the original one. And also another tip that I want to point out is that you want to just kind of snip into these curves because it's going to help it look a little bit prettier. So anywhere that there's like a huge curve, especially around the toe as well, just snip into it, but be very careful not to snip into your stitches because that would be annoying and obviously it would create a hole. So just go around and do that. Do that on both the outer section and the one. I mean, it doesn't really matter so much on that inside lining. I wouldn't bother waste your time. I would just do this on the external one. And just where the heel is, do exactly the same thing on your Christmas stocking. Okay, so what I want you to do now is flip them out right sides out. And if you've actually seen an error where you haven't caught all of the fabrics, then that is the time to go back and restitch it down. So what you're going to end up having is this one is going to be flipped out, and then this one is going to be left just unflipped like so. So you've got the pretty side still on the inside here. Now what I want you to do is take them to your iron and give both of them a nice press, especially this one, just to give it a nice stocking shape. What you're going to do next is, so this is the outside one, you're going to put that inside the lining like so. You're going to push everybody down. It doesn't have to be neat. You just want to get it so you're going to have the top sections around the top here are going to match. So you're going to get the seams together on both sides, and you're going to make sure that your toe part of your stocking is facing the toe part of the lining, and then you are going to sew all the way around the top, closing this all in. If you wanted to add a hook, this is how you would do it. So you would determine how big you would like it. This is generally how I do mine. So I just fold it in half, and I'd fold it in itself, and then fold this one to the centre on itself as well. Fold this one down, and then that folded over would create a hoop. Now what you can do is stitch both of these sections down so this stays flat. Just going to sew this down, and the hook would basically, so you would bend it over like so, and then you would have it at the back of your stocking, and you'd push it all the way down, and you would just line everything up, and you would just have the raw edges just sticking up like so, and then we're just going to sew everybody down. And see, I've taken the unit off, which allows me a bit more room, but even though I can't can't actually get it in there because it's really small, the sample that I'm doing. So I'm going to really struggle with this right now. So I'm just going to have to keep sewing and moving things out of the way. But hopefully yours is bigger than mine and you can actually sew it around this part here. So don't forget to take this part off because it actually helps. This is our Christmas stocking. I am going to just clip this bulk right away, like so. And then what I'm going to do is, remember this opening here that we had inside of our lining piece? We're going to pull everything out, turn that in on itself. Just going to push everybody through. This opening in our Christmas stocking lining, and we just need to sew that shut. So we go back over to the sewing machine, sew that lining to our Christmas stocking shut. Obviously this looks a little bit silly right now. This is not how it's supposed to look. So we are going to tuck the lining inside of our Christmas stocking, and my iron always likes to do that at just the convenient times. So you're just going to have to push the lining all the way into the stocking. So because I've already attached my hook for my Christmas stocking, I'm going to cheat a little bit and use a piece of felt around the top of my Christmas stocking, and it kind of looks like a faux fur, and I've kind of like done this effect on the back of my Christmas stocking, so it kind of looks a little bit unusual, and I'm just going to top stitch just around here just to secure it. I think this Christmas stocking looks really cute. Let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next video. Bye guys, thanks for watching.